Hi everybody, welcome to our section 9.4 lecture video, where we are going to have an introduction to the rectangular coordinate system and graphing. Okay, so I figure if we're going to do an introduction, let's do it and do it thoroughly. So we're going to start out with some vocabulary words. You're not going to see this on your homework, but I like us all to be on the same page with vocabulary. Okay, so first off, the rectangular coordinate system is composed of two perpendicular axes. So there's two. I'm going to make a little perpendicular symbol here, and there are two axes that have a single unit of length. So what I'm talking about here is that they don't jump around. We're not going from like 1 to 13 to 25. It's going by ones or it's going by twos. Okay? So it's going to have that single unit of length that's consistent. Okay? Those two axes, we have the x-axis and the y-axis. So the x-axis is my horizontal axis. Horizontal means it goes this way, okay, kind of left to right. The y-axis is my vertical axis. So vertical, that's the up and down one, okay? So you have a left-right horizontal axis and an up and down vertical axis. Within that coordinate system, we have ordered pairs. So ordered pairs are two numbers that are associated with the location of a point. All right, so the first number in that ordered pair is the x-coordinate, and the second number in that pair is the y-coordinate. Okay, these ordered pairs are always in parentheses, so you're going to see it like this: parenthesis x-coordinate, comma, y-coordinate. That's what they look like. So what are these coordinates? Well, x-coordinates give us the horizontal distance from the origin, and we're going to say, well, what's the origin? So let's start there. So the origin is exactly where the x and y axis meet. So it's where the x and y axis meet. So then the x coordinate is your horizontal distance from that origin. Okay, so it's how much left or how right we're going. The y-coordinate is the vertical distance from the origin. Okay, and another thing that I'm going to bring up is something called quadrants. So I have a picture down here of a rectangular coordinate system. And if you notice, we have the x-axis, we have y-axis, and what this does is it breaks up that plane into four pieces. Those four pieces are called quadrants. Okay, so these are parts of the coordinate plane that are divided by the axes. And I know that axes looks like axes, but I promise it's the plural of the word axis, okay? So that's the plural of the word axis. It's called axes. It has a slightly different pronunciation than the kind of axe that you would throw at a tree. Sound good? Great. So all I'm going to do here is just label everything so that we can see it visually. So labeling the x-axis, that's my horizontal line here. It already has an x, but I'll continue it here. That's the x-axis. The y-axis is this vertical line right here. Already has a y, but I'll finish it up. That's my y-axis. The origin is this point right here where the x-axis and y-axis meet. Let me draw a little arrow. That's the origin. And then we've got four quadrants, and the four quadrants are actually named, and for whatever reason they've decided that quadrants get named with Roman numerals. Okay, so we're going to do them with Roman numerals. The first quadrant is up here. It has positive x values and positive y values. So positive x's go to the right, negative x values go to the left. Positive y values go up, negative y values go down. So my first quadrant has positive x's and positive y values. Then you continue around in a C. So the second quadrant is over here. So the second quadrant has negative x values and positive y values. Continuing in my C, the third quadrant is down here, so it has negative x's and negative y's. And my fourth quadrant is this last one. So you notice I went around in a C. First, second, third, fourth. And the fourth quadrant has positive x values and negative y values. So this is just kind of to get us started here. The things that you're going to be doing in my math lab for this section are just plotting points and naming points. So let's do a lot of that. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is just plot a lot of points. So plot the following points on the graph below. So my first point, point A, it says 2, 3. So from the origin, I'm going to go right 2, and positive 3 means up 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is where that one point is. So you're not going to have 2 different points or 3 different points. There's just one, and this is the location of it. You went right 2 and up 3 to get there from the origin. Point B is negative 4, 2. So that negative 4 means from the origin, I'm going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The positive 2 means up 2. So this is where point B is located. C is at negative 6, 5. So from the origin, I'm going to go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of this involves some careful counting too on your all's part, okay? So be sure to count carefully. D is at 2, negative 2. So from the origin, I'm going to go right 2 and down 2. This is where D is located. E is at 5, 0. So from the origin, I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And not up or down at all because it's a 0. So it's actually on the x-axis, is point E. And last one, F is 0, negative 3. So 0 means don't go left or right at all, just go down 3. So from the origin, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 spots to point F. In case you're curious, A is in quadrant 1, point B is in quadrant 2, point C is in quadrant 3, point D is in quadrant 4, and E and F are not in a quadrant because they are on an axis. Alright, next thing we're going to do is going backwards. We're going to write each ordered pair that are in this graph below. So I've got points A, B, D, E, and F in my graph, and I'm going to write each ordered pair.
What about the math assignment? Math, I don't see anything on math.
So point A is located right here. So to write a coordinate, we do need parentheses and a comma in the middle. And then I'm looking for my x coordinate and my y coordinate. So for point A, if you go back to the x-axis right here, the x coordinate is at 2. If I kind of connect it over here to the y-axis, my y coordinate is 7. So I went right 2 and up 7 to get to A. If you don't write it with those parentheses, it is not a coordinate, and my math lab will count it wrong, and they should count it wrong. So you need those parentheses to make sure that it is a coordinate, and you put a comma to separate your two values. Next up is point B, which is right here. So for point B, my x coordinate is negative 4. My y coordinate is 6. And I do need parentheses so that I know that it's a coordinate pair. Alright, we've got D, E, and F. I'm going to let you guys try these three. Okay, so pause your video so you can look at my screen here and see if you can write the coordinate pair for D, E, and F. Okay, and I will show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. Alright, point D should be at -3, -3. E is at 0, 2. And F is at 7, -5. How did you guys do? We do okay? Great. Alright. Last thing is just talking about quadrants again. So which one of these points is in quadrant 1? So remember, quadrant 1 is positive x's, positive y's. It's this one right here. So just point A. Which point is in quadrant 2? That's this one over here. It is point B. Which point is in quadrant 3? That's the one down here. That is point D. And which is in quadrant 4, which is over here? Just point F. Which point is not in a quadrant? That would be point E. It's on an axis. So if it's on an axis, it's not in a quadrant. So hopefully this helps you guys get started this week. Have a great week.